Stand by for a transmission from DX Central. This broadcast is not a test. To confirm reception, please tune your radio to any AM or FM frequency and report your observations during this transmission. Again, this is not a test. Stand by for a transmission from DX Central. This broadcast is not a test. To confirm reception, please tune your radio to any AM or FM frequency and report your observations during this transmission. Again, this is not a test.
DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AMDX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AMDXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teakpublishing.com for more information. That's teakpublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AMDXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News Member Bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
From the Gulf South
to your corner of the world.
This is DX Central Live.
Now here's your host, Lloyd Van Horn.
My friends, and welcome to DX Central Live. Isn't it a glorious evening? Is everyone having just a fantastic night? Or is it just me? From the North Shore Studios here in Mandeville, Louisiana, my friends, thank you for joining in our special edition of DX Central Live as we look for the DX test, our second of the weekend, and our second from the state of Montana, this one on 1150. KSEN is the station we're chasing, and, oh, wow, guys, yeah, you can tell I'm happy, huh? I'm very, very happy. And it's surprisingly not a single alcoholic beverage consumed over the course of the evening. Not one. Not one. This is just pure joy. This is pure joy. So hopefully you guys are ready for a fun one here. Last night, 880 KJJR was heard here in Louisiana. Again, we did hear him back in January and heard him again here for this test last night. Heard some Morse code. Heard the 1 kilohertz tones and the multi-spread frequency tones as well. So was able to enjoy that part of it. And also at the same time, apparently, when they were programming the KSEN DX test for this weekend into their computer, the person added in for last night by mistake. And so they also ran it last night on their nighttime power. Now, the one we're going to hear tonight is their daytime power. They're out of Shelby. But the nighttime power was run last night with the same test. And it was kind of a nice little dry run because it was pretty widely heard. I think I caught a little snippet of it here as well. But people were hearing it pretty widely last night on their nighttime power. So I think with the daytime power today, we should be in pretty good shape. Hopefully to be able to hear it. Now, here locally in Louisiana, where I am. We have a local station here, semi-local, about 60 miles to my west, in Baton Rouge. You know, Baton Rouge. 1150 WJBO is located there in Baton Rouge. And so going to definitely be dominating. So we're going to be listening to some talk radio tonight, unfortunately, as the dominant programming there. And with that, we may have a shot at something underneath. We may have a shot at hearing, because WJBO kind of clears out the frequency for us, we may have a pretty good shot at KSEN. I hope. That's the hope. We're going to be running 2 SDRs tonight with our assortment of antennas. Let me look up one thing here. I do want to mention our good friend, Mr. Justin Wolfing up in Minnesota. Justin has himself a live stream as well on his YouTube channel here, UB Studios. So make sure you give him a subscribe as well.
That would be like an ultimate.
So we're gonna listen to him for a second here and see what he's got going on up in Minnesota.
I know I'm gonna probably have better luck hearing it in the morning. And we can always check over on Lloyd's stream tonight. In fact, he's live right now. Oh, look at that! I'm on my stream. Oh my God!
See, we're helping each other out here. So there you go. We've got 2 SDRs tonight. Let me get that chrome off there. There we go. Because we're not worried about lightning crashes tonight. We had the lightning crashes last night. We're not worried about that tonight. We're gonna have a nice clear view, hopefully, of to our northwest. We are running our Perseus SDR here with the Jaguar software. And with that, we have 2 terminated loop antennas. One, we have a 22x70 CAS that is pointed at about 305 degrees northwest. And, excuse me. So that's the main one we're going to be running tonight. We do also have a 285-degree western-facing Superloop that we have, 15x50 Superloop. We'll probably check that out and see if we're hearing anything on that as well. But more than likely, most of the night we'll be spending on the Northwest CAS. We also do have, over on the other side, we have an Elad. Oops, let me get that out of the way there. We have an Elad FDM S3. We're running SDR Console software here. And in here we have our 2 twin W6 LVP loops. And let me turn my rotors back on. We're going to point that, let's see. Let me make sure I've got those pointed right at. We're going to look at our map here and see. KSEN is at 324 degrees. So we're going to go about 310 or so on the loops so we can get right to just off to the side of that beam width there. And hopefully those will have a shot between those 2 and hearing maybe on the Elad here. Last night, this was kind of the main rig we were running because of all the static crashes. You may be able to see visually, actually, the Morse code, the sweeps, the tones on the 1 kilohertz tones, things like that on this waterfall. It's been pretty good about that. The waterfall that's in the Jaguar, not as good. And in fact, I may be moving over to the Perseus software, the actual Perseus software. We'll see. To see if maybe at some point we switch over to that to see if we can do a better job of seeing those elements on the waterfall, because it's not super clear on the Jaguar waterfall. We're about 5 minutes away from getting started here for the DX test. So before we do, a couple of reminders for you. One reminder is make sure that if you're new, if you don't stop by often, we would love to. Well, can't do that now, can I? I thought I could, but I guess I can't. Anyway, I was going to show you guys here the website address. We had a little thing that was going to pop up for it, but DXCentralOnline.com, that's our website address. You can click on, if you're a newer DXer, click on the beginner here. And you don't have to be a newer DXer to click on that and see some cool stuff. We have a lot of really great information there, even for seasoned DXers. We have a glossary of terminology. We have a common abbreviation list. And we have a section here for AM and for FM DXing as well. And if you go to the AM, you'll see things like we have some basics on AM. I include some information on kind of where to start, some things to listen for, some actual samples in here. things like that. And then we actually have even like some links to the clubs. I think I have a blank logbook in here too somewhere. Remember right? Yeah, here it is, the blank logbook you can use. We also have a page for propagation that talks about ground wave and has a ground conductivity map, talks about skywave and things like that, sunrise, DX, the D-layer, all that kind of stuff. And we have a gear page as well, where we have recommendations for different pieces of gear, desktops, SDRs, portables, antennas, things along those lines. I'm actually going to be doing some updating to that page soon, but based on some of my recent experimentation, but you can definitely check it out there. Another thing to point you to, if you go up here to the more area up here on the menu at the top, you'll see, actually, I'm sorry, that's not where it's at. It's over here on the blog. If you go to blog, it's also on the homepage. If you go right to the main homepage at the very beginning of the page here, we have our blog post about this weekend's DX test. So all the information that you need to know about the QSLing, if you're interested in QSL, you want to get a verification from this DX test if you are able to hear it. And what you need to do and provide, the rules for that are all going to be found right here on our blog post, along with where to send all that information, along with the details of the actual test itself, what to expect, and so forth. So if definitely, if you're DXing this one, you make sure that you check us out on our website, dxcentralonline.com, and click on our blog post there to check out all the information about last night and tonight's DX test as well. All right. We also, you may have already seen this, some of you, but we also have here for newer folks. Let me just go to our YouTube channel here. And if we go here to our DX 101 videos, it's not gonna let me scroll that far over, is it? Let's just go to our playlists. And gotta find, actually, let me just do this intro to AMDX tests. So we have two videos here. I don't know why the second one's not showing up on my search. We have two videos though. An introduction.
Follow us.
Introduction to DX test. This is the full version. Also on our YouTube channel, we also have the condensed version. I thought I'd put a link for it in here, but I guess I didn't. So I will have to add that in there. But this gives you information on the history of DX tests, and then we also, in the condensed version is nothing but this, have the samples of what you'll hear tonight, like the sweeps, the tones, what Morse code sounds like, things along those lines. So especially if you're newer to these DX tests or you want a refresher, I would definitely recommend checking out those introductions to DX test videos we have up on our YouTube channel so that you can get more information about those and what to expect for tonight and future DX tests. So we are approaching that time. Let's go ahead and check out first on our Jaguar software with our Perseus. And let's see what we have here on 1150. Now, just like last night, I'm not going to be spending a lot of time talking tonight once we get started because I want to make sure that we are focusing on the listening aspect and having this for people who may be comparing to what they recorded from their place. So we'll be going off camera here in a bit, but we'll be joining you periodically in the chat. So good luck, everyone. And let's check out KSEN from Shelby, Montana here on 1150 kilohertz.
Listen to the Bible in a Year with Jack Graham on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast. WJBO and WFMF HD2 Baton Rouge. WJBO News Radio and iHeartRadio station. The most after-hour time is 1 o'clock.
The battle is on. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News. With the midterm elections taking place on Tuesday, the Senate race in Pennsylvania between the state's Democratic Lieutenant Governor and Senate candidate John Fetterman and the Republican candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz is extremely tight. Here's Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman speaking at a rally in Philadelphia Saturday.
He spent over $27 million of his own money to try to buy this seat. There. Pennsylvania is not for sale.
And at a rally in Latrobe, Pennsylvania Saturday, Dr. Mehmet Oz denouncing Fetterman's border policy.
John Fetterman is arguing for an open border, sanctuary cities so our police can cooperate with the federal officials. And he wants to legalize all drugs. When that was tried, in Oregon, 50% increase in homicide rates.
President Biden and former President Obama backing Fetterman at his rally, while former President Trump doing the same for Dr. Oz. Meanwhile, former President Bill Clinton stumping for New York's Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul, praising her crime policies.
She has increased working with the states, communities to reduce increased gun violence, help community and hospital-based crime prevention interventions.
No one has come forward to claim Saturday night's $1.6 billion Powerball jackpot. Saturday's winning numbers 28, 45, 53, 56, 69, and Powerball number 20. The Houston Astros beating the Philadelphia Phillies to win the World Series Saturday night. It's 2 a.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, and it's time for residents there to set their clocks back 1 hour for the return of Standard Time. America is listening to Fox News.
Fox News, sponsored by Home Bank. From saving for college to expanding your business, you can count on the community bankers at Home Bank. Member FDIC. Trouble sleeping? You're not alone. It's estimated that 50 million Americans aren't sleeping well on a regular basis. So what are your options? Dangerous prescriptions, more pillows, and another expensive mattress? I don't think so. If you want a great night's sleep, then you need to try Sleep Cream. Sleep Cream is a revolutionary new product using natural oils and plant extracts to help you sleep better. And it works. Simply rub it on your skin at bedtime. In fact, we're so sure it'll help you sleep better, we'll even send you a free sample. Go to sleepcream.com for a limited time to get your free sample. Just pay minimum shipping and handling. That's sleep, CREME.com. Order Sleep Cream and start sleeping better the very first night. Sleepcream.com. That's sleep, CREME.com, and put an end to tossing, turning, and sleepless nights. Night-night, sleep tight.
Don't be left without power this winter. Call Taylor Power Systems and protect yourself with a standby generator. Call 601-932-5674. Online at TaylorPowerGenerators.com. Taylor Power Systems, your complete generator solution.
Attention, if you have a current insurance plan, you are eligible to receive up to 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to your home or business each month absolutely free. Per the current government mandate, U.S.-based insurers are now required to cover at-home COVID testing kits every month with no out-of-pocket fees to you. Just visit getyourfreetest.com to begin the registration process. When completed, Tiero Health, a trusted source for next-generation healthcare, will submit a claim to your insurance provider. Your 8 monthly tests will ship directly to your home or business for free. Go to getyourfreetest.com. There's no deductible and no copay. COVID-19 and its variants are still here, so give yourself peace of mind by registering you and your family for free time-sensitive tests today. Visit getyourfreetest.com to register from the comfort of your own home. That's getyourfreetest.com to receive 8 COVID-19 tests shipped to you at no cost. Just visit getyourfreetest.com. Same-day Botox from one of the nation's top 25 providers. Visit WeilerPlasticSurgery.com.
The Bible in a Year with Jack Graham is a moving and inspiring biblical audio experience that will help you master wisdom from the world's greatest book. In each episode, you'll learn to apply biblical principles to everyday life.
Each cinematic episode is a journey through the Bible's most profound stories that will strengthen your appreciation of the Word and inspire you to keep learning.
Listen to The Bible in a Year with Jack Graham on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission.
Hello, how are you doing today?
She wants more people to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors.
Are you organ donor? Yes, I am.
Yay!
My goal is to sign up the most people in the United States.
What drives her? Roxanne's own life was saved through the gift of a heart transplant, made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day that I was going to devote myself to the cause of organ donation and signing people up and honoring my donor by doing that.
Now she's back to health, and she's a powerful force, helping to save lives every day through her work. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life.
8 people can be helped with the major organs, and up to 50 people can be helped with a little bit of everything. And when you think about it that way, that you could help that many people, it's amazing. It really is.
Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. To learn more of the signs, visit autismspeaks.org.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council. WJBO comes from the TRICARE Automotive Studios.
And I feel the news faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained. They rode us on the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I sang soft while others sang the blues. Windshield wipers, turpentine, old Bobby Sandman. We sang every song that Javi knew. Just another word for nothing left to lose. I mean, nothing on a bit ain't free. Yeah, feeling was easy love when he sang the blues. It was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby. From the Kentucky coal mine to the California sun, hey, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather, through everything we've done, hey, Bobby, baby, kept me from the world. One day I knew Selena's gone. I let him slip away. He's looking for that home, and I hope he finds it. But I trade all of my tomorrow for one single yesterday to be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing. That's all that Bobby left me. When he feels it was easy love when he sang the blues. That it was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby.
Premier Networks presents Coast to Coast AM. Now, here's your guest host, Connie Willis.
And we are broadcasting live from more than 700 affiliates in North America. That includes Puerto Rico, Guam, Mexico, and more. You are listening to Coast AM. I'm Connie Willis. And boy, I was speaking of Janis Joplin earlier today. Bobby McGee. I wish I could sing. I wouldn't be talking. Good stuff there. Song written by Chris Christopherson. There we go. And you guys always say, Connie, you have the best vocal music. What was the name of that tune? Who sang it? What was it all about? Go to our website. We got a great site. Our webmasters do a lot of wonderful things. Articles, information, and hey, you can even learn how to become a Coast Insider if you're not. Listen 24/7, audio archives, even learn the bumpers, at least going to the website. But we just added the Art Bell Vault too. If you become a Coast Insider, you'll be a part of that. To sign up, learn more by going to that website, coasttocoastam.com.
Did you know that over 28% of adults use a mobile app for sleep tracking? And for good reasons. Research shows that sleep benefits retention of memory and energy, while poor sleep quality can even be associated with excess body weight. I'm George Norrie here to talk with you about a product I've been using, Relief Factor Sleep, a 100% drug-free supplement that helps me turn off my brain to relax and sleep well at night. I love how I feel when I wake up after taking Relief Factor Sleep. I love the energy, the clarity, the lack of brain fog, my ability to focus, and my mood and zest for life. If it works for a guy like me, there's a good chance it can work for you too. It really can help you get back to living a life you love. Try Relief Factor Sleep for the low introductory price of $19.95 for the first month. Go to relieffactor.com/sleep or call 1-800-4RELIEF to find out. That's relieffactor.com/sleep or 1-800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor Sleep.
Real people, real good.
I have bruising that's all over my arms. 3 weeks after I was on the carnivore, I noticed, I'm looking at my arms,
but I said, gee, I don't have any bruises on my arm, but I'm always full of bruises. I can't put my finger on it, but I know something's happening. I have to tell you, that has to be your kind of work.
I've got a Labrador. She can hardly lift herself above the floor. I won't tell you what the veterinarian said, but the treatment was sincere. And I said, no way, Brad. And I said, you know what, this could be the ticket. So I started administering her. She took to it right away. For 3 weeks, you could tell. Very alert. And then the protocol, she seemed like she was 100%. She was going on a 5-mile walk. My goodness, she was just like priming.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivore.com. That's CARNIVORE.com.
WJBO News Radio, 1150 AM and 98.7 FM.
Connie Willis here on Coast to Coast AM. How are you doing tonight? Are you a Powerball winner? Are you a big winner? I'm pretty sure that there's a winner because they haven't switched off and said, hey, it's up to, $2 trillion for next week. So you just want to see that, none of the advertisements on there. It's just a black page with some words on it, and the numbers. So check your ticket and let us know who you win. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool if you're a master here. So anyway, good luck with that. I hope that's the case. Also, tonight, daylight savings time. And if you would like to join me on my podcast and be a part of the experiment, I'm throwing out different things and seeing if you like it. And you guys let me know. I really like to be, interactive. So use that comment. It's not like there's a reply from me, but leave that comment. I check them out. And I appreciate that you guys are kind and nice and throwing out information in a good way. That's very, very nice kind of response. Thank you so much. So go to ConnieWillis.com and you'll learn about Connie Willis, the podcast. That's of course podcast free, the one I have set up for you. And I have some shows too. They're paid memberships because we go out on expeditions and we're batting 1,000 with activity, whether it be Bigfoot, strange flights, hauntings, or what have you. So maybe you'll become a blue rocker with my Blue Rock Talk Show. ConnieWillis.com takes you to all of them, ConnieWillis.com. So we're talking to Sandra Martin when we left, or she was, and she was talking about New Yorkers. She and I had the same outlook on New Yorkers. I mean, I got to tell you, I love New Yorkers. As being in the world of TV and radio and different things like that, and film, when I worked with the New Yorkers, I loved it, absolutely loved it, because they gave it to you straight. If they didn't like your shirt, they didn't want you. You go to an audition and they just didn't like your shirt because it's the same color that their wife who was yelling at them, earlier that morning had the same one on. They'll tell you, I don't like you because I don't like that shirt because my wife wore that same color shirt today and she was yelling at me. And you could say, hold on a second, go in the other room, pull off somebody else's shirt, give them yours, switch off, and come back in and go, is this better for you? Yeah, try the audition again. It's, that kind of thing. You go to L.A., it's a whole different story. Hey, you know what? We'll do lunch. And that's exactly one of the last words you heard. It's just the way it is. And I had agents on both sides. And Sandra, we had a New Yorker, one of our regular callers here, Joseph, and fans of the show. He's just wonderful. He's a New Yorker, and he says, let's see if I can pull this out. As a New Yorker, they show us, then they tell us, then they yell at us, and that puts us back on track. He nailed it. He knows it's true. So I appreciate you getting into the truth of all that. Now, okay, we know you help publish books and work with shows and agents and do all these really cool things in the media part of it, but did you originally start out with your own abilities? Is that really how it all started?
I've always just had this, and it's not anything I can count on, but happened to me when I was married to my first husband. I've only been married twice, even though it sounds like more, but anyway, we were young, we had little children. And the big thing when you're a suburban mother in Richmond couple was that everybody tried to sell you insurance. I mean, it was like that was what they did. Those guys, they all, the JCs and all that. Anyway, so I had a really strange day at the horse racing. We had lots of friends, and this couple, they lived like in the next little subdivision from us. And they loved to go to the races, and they were trying to sell my husband insurance for the company that he was working for. But he was really, hard at it. And so we said, yes, we wanted to go. We'd not ever been to like a big race, Pimlico and now London. So we said, sure. So, we got in there, suburban station wagon, and with coolers of beer and food and everything. And the wife always looked like she was stepped out of fashion magazine, and the husband was always dressed in a suit. And my husband and I were pretty darn casual about everything, and so it was a strange thing. Plus, they were really tall, and my husband and I were short. But anyway, his wife always was pretty uptight, but nice. So we got up there, and they just, they give you those little lists of what the horses are and everything. And we went where we were sitting. They always had a very special place that they found, so we went there. And they went off to do things, and I sat there looking at the full pamphlet that had these 10 races and the horses and the jockey's name. And I just sat there and looked at each one. And I just checked off who I thought was going to win in each race. And when the guys came back, they thought that was really funny that I did that way because I didn't really see the horses. What did I know? They were just making fun. But, I said, well, I was totally, it was kind of irrelevant to the guys at first. And so we were sitting there, and the horses started, running. The guys got to check out. They came back, and the horses were running, and the first horse won that I had checked. And so they were like, and I've got $2 every time I get that $2. And so they said, oh, well, that's beginner's luck. We've never done this, but that's really good, Stanford. That was really good. And so the next race went around, and I bet my $2, and that horse won. And by now, they were, making a big deal of it. Oh, my God, I can't believe you won another race. And all of a sudden, these little ladies smoking cigarettes and tennis shoes with no teeth started hanging around me real close, trying to look over my shoulder, which was really funny. And my husband was trying to shoot them away every time the race started, if they would come and look again. But anyway, so I just kept winning all of it. I won every single race that was going on. The last race, I had a crowd of people around me. So the last race, those guys, my husband and that insurance guy, had not bet any of the horses that I had chosen because they said, that's luck. That's never going to happen again, that kind of thing. So, but the people around me had done that. They were real happy. And so the last race was going, and they went up there and put the rest of their money that they had bought me bet on that horse. His name was Billy Jack. And they put and I was just like, oh, God, no, it's not going to happen again. I was just like, but I stood there, we stood to the railing, we were screaming, and the horses, when they started off, Billy Jack was like dead last. Oh, my God, so I just sat down, but Billy Jack came all the way around and won. Yay! And I had picked all of those, so I took everybody out to dinner that night, and, it was, John, my husband finally said something that, because he was going, how did you do that? The insurance guy? And I said, I don't know, sometimes I just tuned in. I just don't understand it, but sometimes it just happens. And my husband said, yeah, if we go anywhere and there's we go to J.C. Tampa Bay Jr., whatever it was called. And you know, if there was a prize under a plate, you turned your plate over. I would always win. I came home with arrangements and all sorts of weird things. But anyway, so that was good. But everybody was kind of perplexed by it. So, because, you know, it was just like so weird. So anyway, the next weekend comes up, and this couple, they want to know if we want to go to the races again. And I said to my husband, no, I do not want to go. That was too stressful for me, even though I was winning. I just don't want to go. So the next week he called and he said, well, if I just send you who's running, you just, you know, look at them and give me some answers.
Oh, no.
I don't want to do that either.
You might as well be there then and be a part of it.
So anyway, then he said, look, if I pay you, will you go with me? I was like, no, I won't. Because I just knew it would never happen again. But anyway, I was always lucky like that.
Man, you should have bet the lottery.
You know, I was just...
Did you try it?
The lottery.
Oh, man.
Sometimes, but only because Lisa brings it home and says, I did this for you. But it's just been really a strange life where I've had these extraordinary things that would just happen out of the blue. Like after I was living on 97th Street and I was selling these books, and every day my mission was to meet a new editor and tell them about the field and for them to understand what is happening in America. The whole country was going New Age, but New York City having anything to do with it because they're critical of everything else and they just making money, you know, that kind of thing. And they just couldn't take it seriously. They were so upset by the fact that I was selling a lot of books, but I was selling them on dreams, healthcare, alternative care for animals, myths and things, stories like that, and Michael Barstow wrote books. Anyway, a lot of people that I sold books, I was selling a lot of books during that time. But that was my mission. I went from editor to editor, and I told them that they were missing out on an entire amount of money that they could be making on this field with books that were really well written and edited and, you know, so
and was it showing that
well, yeah, it was showing it to me because I was around all the years. I knew they were out there, and I knew everyone I talked to about spirituality, intuition, dreams, having a deeper understanding of why we are here on the planet, that larger picture that we all need to know about and be in touch with. That everybody wanted to talk about it. I mean, there were people that would be in their office whispering to me, you know, about things that had happened to them and stuff. But so anyway, I went around. Everybody knew who I was and what I was doing and whatever. And someone just like, you know, I'm gonna buy this book, but you know, I don't believe that. And so anyway, that's kind of the way it went. And I think that my whole I was just so determined to get this information into the public in a larger way. So while I'm doing all of that, I got a phone call from a friend of mine that worked at Discovery who was, I forgot what she was head of at that time, but she worked a lot of things. And Discovery's only been out there for like a year. And she said, I'm in town, you want to have dinner? I said, yeah. So I go to meet her down on 46th Street at Joe's, I think. And anyway, we're sitting there, and these two guys come in, and I go, oh, that's the president of Discovery. And the other guy's the head of executive producer of Discovery. And it's like, wow. You know, at first I think it's there to pick her up or whatever. But they all sat down, and we talked, and we had dinner, and we didn't talk about my dream show, which, amazingly enough, I did not bring it up and badger them about it. But the president said, we decided we want to produce your series, but we only want 3 hours.
Only want 3 hours. Wow.
And I almost fainted because I was so surprised because I didn't think about that. Even though my ex-husband was an astrologer and he had said to me on the date, which I had written on my calendar and in my day book, that I had these extraordinarily positive, what is it called? Jupiter alignment, something like that. And I can't remember those things because I told him all the time, oh, that's not real. And that was the day. And I saw that morning when I looked at it and I thought, another day. But anyway, so that's how that started. And so the funny thing about that was that like the executive producer who'd been to the office a couple times when he was in the city said, now, Sandra, we're going to do this, and we want to do this series, but you can't have your office in your house, in your apartment. You've got to get a real office, and because you're going to have to hire a lot of people, and they won't fit in that place. So I ended up getting an office. Anyway.
And where was the office?
Actually, 52nd Broadway.
Oh, nice.
Something like that, yeah. And it was the 4th floor, and you got to watch David Letter. Actually, at first, office that I wanted was in the Ed Sullivan building. And I filled out all the forms and everything, but then they said, I'm sorry, it's already been rented. And it was David Letterman. David Letterman started.
Wow. That's just the heyday of New York.
$3. Pardon?
That was just the heyday of New York City. I mean, now it has changed dramatically so much.
I know. It was the best. I loved it. I loved everything about New York. And every now and then I just get in one of those memory lapses that I just want to be back there walking, from my apartment on 57th Street after that. And I moved into that apartment because of a dream.
Yeah, you were that Southern girl that was fighting it, right? You were the Southern chick fighting the whole way, saying, I'm not going to do it.
I know, and there I was. I met the most extraordinary people, and I had the best time. I mean, it was so stressful so much of the time, but it was just wonderful all the way around.
Well, when we come back, you guys, with Sandra Martin, we're going to ask her about some of the people that she really enjoyed helping and working with, because there's some really good stories to hear. She told me a few of them, and I don't care if she repeats them. They were just absolutely wonderful, and they're names of people that you know. Sandra Martin is with us. I'm Connie Willis. Don't forget Daylight Savings Time, and check your Powerball ticket, too. Come on, maybe you're the big winner. You're listening to Coast AM.
Piping Massacre podcast, the investigation into one of Ohio's worst crimes continues. Join the KT Studio team as they examine the forensics and the ties that bind the victims and the accused. What will the trials mean for Pike County?
Let's talk about the crime scene. Accused murderer George Wagner faces the judge and jury.
This is legitimately the biggest murder trial in the state of Ohio's history.
Listen to the Piping Massacre on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Any first responder will tell you never try to beat a train. After braking, it can take a mile for a train to completely stop. A mile. That's also how far a car can be dragged when a train hits it. So when you come to a rail crossing, stop. Because trains can't. Pay for it by NHTSA. Okay, 121-12674.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Chairman John Sykes confirming a slew of stars to perform for this year's induction ceremony, including John Mellencamp, Bruce Springsteen. The Edge, Pink, and Sheryl Crow also confirmed to usher in this year's inductees. The ceremony will air on HBO November 19th. Elton John jumping into the Roblox metaverse. He just announced a collaboration with the popular online game platform Beyond the Yellow Brick Road will let fans follow the Yellow Brick Road through an interactive world inspired by Elton's life and legacy. Selena Gomez is opening up about the mental health struggles she suffered in 2016. In her new documentary that's just out, it's revealed Gomez went through a mental breakdown that eventually caused the cancellation of her revival tour that year. Selena was eventually diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was admitted to a mental health facility. She's been in and out of rehab and healthcare facilities several times since, but says she's doing much better now. And a massive online auction of celebrity memorabilia kicking off today for Homes for Our Troops, which raises money for injured vets. Paul Rudd, Ben Stiller, and Jake Gyllenhaal offering personal meetings and Zoom chats with others like George Clooney and Jennifer Aniston donating watches and purses. It runs through the 13th with 100% of the proceeds going to Homes for Our Troops. That's entertainment. I'm Liz Warner, NBC Youth Radio.
Activate your talk radio with your voice by telling your smart device this.
Play WJBO News Radio on iHeartRadio.
Fox News, I'm Richard Jordan. Former President Donald Trump's campaigning for Dr. Mehmet Oz to help Republicans regain control of the Senate in Tuesday's midterm election.
Here in Pennsylvania, he's backed Oz since the Republican primary, one he narrowly won over David McCormick.
Fox's Rich Edston, President Biden and former President Obama campaigned together Saturday for Oz's competitor, John Fetterman. Police in Philadelphia say a gunman got out of a vehicle parked in front of a bar and started firing. At least 9 people are hurt. The Houston Astros defeated the Phillies to become the best in baseball.
The victory also gives 73-year-old Dusty Baker his first Fall Classic championship title in 25 seasons as a manager.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Those in the Eastern Time Zone need to set their clocks back 1 hour for the return of Standard Time. America's listening to Fox News.
WJBO News Radio, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
like the man said, on Coast to Coast AM. All right, name that tune. I'll help you. Heart of Gold. That's it. Neil Young. Okay, and I know someone that said they saw the backside of Neil Young at I think a library or a Starbucks. I can't remember. I think it was a library. Interestingly enough, been to Hollywood, to Redwood. I think they saw him in Redwood. Anyway, that's really cool. Good music, always. Thank you so much for liking the music that I pull. I love it too. I'm with you. Hey, that's why I got it in there. Now, something you're going to like TV-wise is Beyond Belief. This is George Norrie's TV show. It's great. Video to it. Nice. You get to, it's just a whole new thing, right? You know, you go from the radio to the TV. You get it both that way. And let me tell you, George has been doing this. George Norrie's been doing this for 20 seasons. I can't believe it. I'm like, man, how long has he been on this show? It's 482 episodes. That's amazing, you guys. It's also a lot of fun. I'm envious. I'm jealous. I mean, my gosh, that's wonderful. Good for him. Way to go. Season 20. And if you're interested in checking it out, well, it's really easy. Just go to our website and you can learn more because you can get some, you can get discount. You can get full episodes. You can get your free trial. So take a look at it. It's called Beyond Belief TV. It's a ton of shows. I don't know how he does it. I don't think he sleeps. Anyway, learn more about Beyond Belief TV on our website at coasttocoastam.com.
Imagine you're in a room with 4 other people. Statistically, one of you is a victim of identity theft. That's right, 1 in 5. And these aren't careless people either. They're probably a lot like you, watching their accounts in credit. But that isn't always enough, especially with your personal info in more places than ever. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself by monitoring your identity and alerting you to threats you could miss on your phone. If you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will be dedicated to your case and work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com and use promo code George. That's promo code George to save up to 25% off your first year, or 1-800-LifeLock.
We tried Dynamite nutritional supplement, and after a couple of weeks, we noticed a big difference. Our little Gizmo's coat was shinier, and there was a lot less scratching and shedding.
My dog smells and scratched constantly. We bathed and sprayed her, took her to the vet, but no results. Now, a little Dynamite in her food helps Bella keep her beautiful coat with no scratching or smell.
Happier with every bite. Over a blend that helps with Dynamite.
With the new season comes new savings. This autumn, cozy up to one of Casper's award-winning mattresses to help you catch your best Z's. Unprecedented times call for an unprecedented price, so we upgraded our popular Element mattress with its AirScape breathable foam, responsive comfort, and long-lasting support, all for just $9.95 for a queen. Discover the Casper difference now at Casper.com and use code NORI100 for $100 off select mattresses. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com/promo.
WJBO News Radio, 1150 AM and 98.7 FM.
Coast to Coast AM, Connie Willis with you. Join me at ConnieWillis.com when you got other time. Right now, it's time for Sandra Martin to continue. It's our last segment. Time flies, and I got a bazillion questions to ask her. So sit tight here, Sandra. You just got to shell out these answers. No, actually, take your time. So, okay, you published a ton of books, great names, we never would have heard of these names without you. You broke through so many areas, not just in the genre, but also, you know, in the media of our conversations that we target here on Coast to Coast, but also even as a female out there. You've done some unbelievable things, all because you're just being you. And I want to thank you for that. That's a big deal. But what do you think is the fear of people learning the truth? And by the way, it's still hard to get the truth out of these things that you've seen, I've seen, the people here of Coast to Coast listening have seen and experienced. I've noticed that when people embellish it and create something that's not really happening in the world of what we look and see and know and experience, they embellish it and they turn it into something else, and it, you know, really hits the big audience. But when you go to the truth, people still don't want to get that hardcore truth that you don't need to change. It's already crazy enough.
From the beginning. I know, it's really true, but you know, that's why it's so hard now, because stories that from the beginning, that didn't say them clearly. But I can tell you why it's so hard now, because Ingo said that because I was trying to, the honest truth is, if I had been brave enough, because I know that I could have never gotten them done, but there were so many people, whistleblower types, who would come shaking because I did conspiracy books and stuff, afraid. I mean, there was this woman that came, and I was all excited because she was coming because she was from Harvard, and John Mack, who was a friend of mine at the time, had given her my name, and she wanted to tell the truth about cell phones that were just coming out and being out there. And she said, I just have to talk to you. She didn't want to do it over the phone. I'll be in New York, and, giving a talk or something, so I'll come and see you. So she did, and she said that I don't know if it was, now they talk about 5G. I've forgotten exactly what wave it was. I don't think it was, what is the one that we hate?
Now they talk about 5G hurting me.
Yeah, but it was, whatever it was really strong, and it was making people have, a lot of people were getting brain tumors because of it. And she said, this just got to stop. And so anyway, she's going to come and see me. And I asked her how did she get my name. She told me that John Mack was a professor there and at Harvard where she taught, and she really wanted to find somebody that would take on a hard project, a hard thing to sell, because everything is corporate world. So anyway, she came to the office, but she had said to me, John is such a smart guy. He has all of these awards he's won and everything, but now he's into those UFOs. He's just fallen off the universe. I can't believe it. She was just so disgusted by that. But anyway, I wanted her to come, and I wanted to represent her because I knew that most people would not take her on. And so she came to the office. She was coming to the office, so I go around, and I tell the 3 people in the office that day, don't say anything about UFOs. Don't say anything about whatever, because this woman's coming. I would really like to represent her because she has an important thing to do. But, she has that block. A lot of people have that block. But anyway, so she comes, and I take her out to lunch, and we come back in, and we're standing at the counter, and the girl that had already gone to lunch early was back sitting with her dad, and she looks up at me and hands me a piece of paper, the little note, telephone pad thing, pink, and says, Courtney called and said the mothership has been sighted.
Oh no, Courtney Brown.
His face just went, down. And that was it. She never answered my calls back, and she didn't. That was it. it was kind of that kind of world, you know, you just didn't know what was going to happen. But the people that came to me, I mean, some of them, they wouldn't call me to come to the door, and sometimes they called, they'd be in a phone booth somewhere, and they would be scared. You could hear it in their voices. And most of the time I would just say, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I can do. And I had a lot of friends who worked for, you know, Frontline.
Were they scared of you or scared of telling their truth?
Scared of telling the truth because they thought they would be killed or... I mean, guys told those stories.
They still feel that way, yeah.
Yeah, they still feel that way. But it was so sad because sometimes it was... I mean, there was a man that called me one time. I think he was with the Navy, I forget. But his voice was shaking so hard while he was talking to me that he could not... He finally hung up the phone. It was... And, you know, I used to go home and cry at night like that because it was so important. But one of my best clients who a lot of people came because of was Jim Mars. Jim Mars was one of the most entertaining, fun, exciting guy who was a really good researcher. And he started in the business because he was a reporter for the Dallas Morning Star. And he hadn't been a reporter for a couple of years when JFK was still there in Dallas where he was. And he knew Ruby. He knew all those guys. He used to go to all those bars and stuff. And so he was really plugged into that world. And he wrote his first book, Crossfire, while he was working at Egypt. And Oliver Stone is the one, he optioned that to make a movie. And his movie was based on Jim's book. But Jim was always on the cutting edge of knowing what was out there, what was going on. And sometimes he would just be, he'd send me stuff. This was back when, you know, he would just send me a chapter, an email or whatever. And he would just say, he would be saying, you know, this is what so-and-so says and all this stuff. And it would just be so wrong. It would just be one of those things. I know that guy just now made it up because told me that guy just now made it up. And so it was, we had a really good relationship. But Jim Mars, Dean Race, and a few other people would come to New York and sleep on my sofa. And Jim Mars was so excited to be with somebody who actually knew all of those conspiracies and knew what was real and what wasn't, that he would never let me stop talking. He would ask me a million questions. 3 o'clock in the morning, I would be going, I have to go to bed. I have to go to work. You can sleep. You know, you don't care for me until 11 or whatever. And he would just keep on talking. And I would be in my bedroom with the door shut, and he would stand at the door. And I would just yell at him. Hello!
And that's weird. Stop it.
Yeah, but he was just, you know, even his wife said, he just can't wait to come and talk to you because I always knew what the newest, latest, you know, thing was because of everybody. But anyway.
I like that you called him out. I love that you called him out because nobody else would call him out. I know you got into remote viewing big time, but I want to ask you just real quick, just something out of my own head. Did you ever work with Shirley MacLaine? Was that already happening before, or did you help with her at all?
No, I never even met her.
No?
No.
She did a lot of breaking through, too, right, for everybody?
She did. I read all of her.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, I saw Richard Belzer's book. You remember Richard Belzer from, I forgot, he's a stand-up comedian, but he was also on that cop show, Run Forever.
Homicide, Life on the Street?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And so we interviewed him. I did another series on intuition that we did for PBS Sedgwick thing. And we interviewed him and all of the guys that were on that show about that intuitive moment. And I tell you, actors are really plugged in that world. And when I first met Richard, he would say, okay, I have these three friends that I want you to meet us at this, bar, restaurant somewhere. And he would have a table away from everybody else's. And I would get there and he'd go, okay, she's here. All right, now what do you want to ask her? And what do you want to ask her? It was just like hilarious because half the time I didn't even know that he was asking, but it was I would say, if you tell me, I could prepare. But he was really funny, and I spent a lot of time with him because his wife mostly lived in France at their house, and I was always his alternate date. So I got to do all sorts of things because, most of the people that he hung around with were interested in conspiracies and stuff like that.
Well, I love that, we got maybe just, several minutes left. And, you got to know Ingo Swann really well and James Van Praag very well. And I know you love both those people to death. I mean, they're just incredible people.
They are. James Van Praag was a great guy. He was, uniquely himself. But when he came to the city to meet me, he came in the office. It had been raining. He was dripping wet. And Carla, the receptionist, was taking his wet clothes and his jacket and his umbrella. And he was talking the whole time from the doorway. He finally got in front of me. I had not said one word. And he's still telling me how the world is ready for this, to understand that we are in touch with people that are on the other side, and there is no barrier between these things, and we can understand all of this and whatever. So, and so I said, well, where's your proposal? And he said, oh, I don't write. And I said, oh, well, that would be difficult. And he just, so I went to see him that night, and he had a show, I don't know what it's called. But anyway, he was there, and I was late, and I opened the door, and this entire room in his old Rosette Hotel was packed with people, packed. And he was extraordinary. I mean, I could hardly believe it because even if it was a fake thing and he had planted, 100 people in that room, it was so overwhelming. People were so touched, and it was life-changing. It really shook me up to see somebody like that. So that at the end of it, I said to him, come to the office tomorrow morning, I will write your proposal. And I did, and I sold his book, and he did extremely well. And he was one of those people, a couple of people whose books were optioned for the Ghost Whisperer series, but his was one of them. And, as he said, it in no way resembled what I was writing about whatsoever, but there you go. But anyway, I was just really blessed to have extraordinary clients and a great life. 25 years of excitement and travel, and I look back on it and I'm so grateful for it. I mean, we still have spiritual groups here and people who come and speak and stuff where I live now in Gracie, but it's not like that kind of world.
Well, it's just,
nothing can be like New York.
And that'll never be the same either. Just about a minute here, but tell us, what's next? What are you going to do now? You're still breathing, so what do you got going on next? You haven't fallen, you're not pushing up daisies yet.
No. Well, my mom died at 97 in July. And everyone has asked me, what am I going to do? And I just don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm just thinking I'm going to do whatever comes up and see what life brings me. That's just how I feel right now. So right now I'm cleaning out all of Mom's drawers and causes and, doing that kind of thing. So just
Understood. Well, what is your biggest advice you want to leave with people before you go?
Follow your passion always. Nobody would have ever, until I did it, believed that I could go to New York and do what I did. Nobody. The only person that did was my ex-husband, Kurt. He just believed in me. He just said, you can do anything you want. He was just so, and he was supportive for everything. I just didn't want to be married. That was my problem. But he was really good to me, and he was always encouraging. And that's, you need somebody to encourage you, even one person.
I absolutely agree. I've met someone similar to that in my life where he encouraged everything, and he was just that encouraged, that person that encouraged. And I don't know that they encouraged everybody, but they had encouraged me, and what a difference that makes to be in your life. So, hey, thanks for being with us, Sandra. I hope you come back. You've got more. I know you have so many more stories. Thanks for being here. And we look forward to what you're going to do next. Let us know for sure. All right, Mars Man coming up for us next hour, and we'll keep things going. That was Sandra Martin. You can find her at thesandramartin.com, thesandramartin.com, and learn much more about her. Connie Willis here, Daylight Savings Time. Someone, I think, won the jackpot. And you're listening because they...
Climbs the stairs at the John Hancock Center in Chicago, 94 floors to the top.
They call the hustle of the Hancock.
It's hard to believe when you watch Steve today that a few years ago his lungs were failing and he was fighting to survive.
For 8 hours a day, someone was pounding on my chest to try and keep my lungs clear. I honestly don't think I had more than a couple weeks to live.
That's when Steve received the gift of life, a double lung transplant made possible by an organ donor.
After I got my new lungs, I started doing things that I had never been able to do. I never knew that breathing could feel this good.
Steve plans to honor his donor and to raise awareness for organ, eye, and tissue donations.
Wouldn't you like that when you left this beautiful planet, that you could save a few lives on your way out? It's an incredible gift.
Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.com. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
The mission of Paralyzed Veterans of America is clear. Accessibility. Veterans who have served and sacrificed the best of themselves deserve access to the best our country has to offer. Access to meaningful employment. Access to the veterans' benefits they've earned. Accessible homes and vehicles. And access to every part of their community. With PVA staff working inside VA hospitals, no other veterans organization has provided more real-time, ongoing support for paralyzed veterans and their families. PVA is proud to serve veterans across all branches, all generations, and all conflicts. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. Join PVA in fighting for theirs at pva.org.
Take the ride of your life. Join the American Diabetes Association's Cure to Cure annual cycling event. Call 1-888-DIABETES or visit diabetes.org/tour.
The home stretch. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News. With the midterm elections coming down to the wire, President Biden appearing at a rally in Philadelphia in support of Pennsylvania Democratic U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman and gubernatorial candidate Josh Shapiro. Here's the president promoting his student loan relief program.
We provided $10,000 in student debt relief. And another $10,000 if you got a Pell Grant. No one under 20 has to be making less than 125 a year, and 90% of that money goes to people earning less than $75,000 a year.
Republicans say the president did not have the legal right to forgive student loans and that it will raise taxes. The program has been temporarily halted in the court. Former President Obama also speaking at the rally. And at a rally in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, Saturday for Republican Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz and gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, former President Trump denouncing the Biden administration's economic policy.
Inflation is costing the typical household nearly $800 every single month. Congratulations. Who the hell voted for these people? What are we doing?
It's not known if there's a winner of Saturday night's record $1.6 billion Powerball jackpot. The numbers are 28, 45, 53, 56, and 69. And red Powerball, 20. The Houston Astros defeating the Philadelphia Phillies 4-1 in Game 6 of the World Series to win the title Saturday night. It's the Astros' second win in 6 seasons. And remember to set your clocks back 1 hour when they hit 2 a.m. local time as Standard Time returns. America is listening to Fox News.
Daily dose of news twice a day, going far beyond the headlines, tapping into the massive reporting resources of Fox News to provide a full picture of the news of the day.
I'm Dana Perino.
I'm Brett Baer.
I'm Maria Bartiromo.
I'm Brian Kilmeade, and this is the Fox News Rundown.
Subscribe and listen now by going to foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. From the Fox News Podcast Network.
Hey, it's Will Kane, co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. Join me as I share my thoughts on a wide range of topics, from sports and pop culture to politics and business. With the help of newsmakers and personalities, I will provide you my free, unfiltered, uncancelable opinion on the hottest topics in America.
The Will Kane Podcast. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. America is listening to Fox News.
With Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, the social media giant's blue checkmark now comes with a price. Fox's Kevin Uretsky has the details.
For $8 a month, Twitter users can now subscribe to a service which includes the blue checkmark, which up until now had been used to indicate a verified account. It's the latest change in just over a week since Elon Musk took over Twitter. On Friday, he laid off half of the company's 7,500 staff members, claiming he had no choice, saying Twitter was losing $4 million a day. Twitter is also losing advertisers who may be worried about possible offensive content due to Musk's stated commitment to free speech. United Airlines is the latest to pause ads, joining General Motors, REI, General Mills, and Howard.
Twitter co-founder and former CEO Jack Dorsey said in a statement Saturday that he is to blame for Saturday's firing because he grew the company too quickly. An investigation launched into the deaths of 5 people in a Maryland home. Fox's Samantha Liebman reports.
A call of a shooting in the Washington, D.C. suburb of La Plata Friday led police to the bodies of 5 adults inside a Windflower Drive home. According to a preliminary investigation, the suspect, ID'd as Andre Sales, came and killed his ex-girlfriend, her brother, mother, and another man. Then he turned the gun on himself. According to Fox 5 D.C., the ex-girlfriend was identified as 21-year-old Sarah Mann. Police said 2 young children were initially unaccounted for, but later found safe at a different location. It's unclear if the children are related to the victims or the suspect. In college football, number 1 Georgia defeating number 2 Tennessee 27-13. Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 1 as well. Georgia now positioning itself to move into the top spot in next week's college football playoff ranking. I'm Laura Cantor, Fox News.
Willis. The Doors. Can't go wrong with the Doors, ever, right? Riders on the Storm. All right. And, you know, I remember listening a long time ago to the radio in my ear, a little transistor radio I had in my ear, going to sleep as a kid, and I just listened to that song, whatever song. I listened until I heard Bob Seger's Night Moves, and then I could go to sleep. This is a true story. But I know a lot of you listen to the radio, especially us. I'm talking about listening to Coast to Coast, and you fall asleep during it. Now, we don't take that as it was boring, it was horrible, it was terrible, you know, it was such a drag. It's not like that. We know we're on late. We know you've had a long, hard day or a long, fun day or no sleep earlier, and you're listening, you're trying your hardest. But, you know, just relax and go ahead and sleep. Don't stress yourself out trying to stay awake. Don't do it. Just become a Coast Insider so that you know the safety of getting to hear what you've missed because you didn't get enough sleep the night before, or you just need to, or that's when your clock goes honk. You know, that's the way it is. We totally get it. So that's why we've made it so you can become a Coast Insider. So basically, 15 cents a day, you get all the downloads of the show. You get to listen to the past shows, what you fallen asleep or missed or had a party or whatever the case. 24/7 live on demand. You got it, okay? The audio streams are all delivered in high quality. All, you know, your computer, your mobile device, whatever. Become a Coast Insider and don't stress that you're going to miss something. You'll have it. You'll have that peace of mind, peace of heart, and you'll get your little Z's in too. More info, go to our website at coasttocoastam.com.
Sleep well? I didn't until I started using 100% drug-free Relief Factor Sleep. I know you often listen to this show until wee hours in the morning, but no matter what time your head hits the pillow, good sleep is important. I'm George Norrie here for Relief Factor Sleep. The same company that helps tens of thousands of people every month relieve their pain has designed a 100% drug-free, non-addictive sleep supplement that leaves you feeling rested and restored after a good night's sleep. I wake up ready to go without the sluggish feeling from taking other sleep aids. Try Relief Factor Sleep for the low introductory price of $19.95 for the first month. Try it out for yourself and experience the sleep our bodies are meant to get and need. Get the rest that will have you start saying, let's go, instead of, I need a nap. Start living the life you love again. I am. Go to relieffactor.com/sleep or call 1-800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's relieffactor.com/sleep or call 1-800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor Sleep.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
With the new season comes new savings. This autumn, cozy up to one of Casper's award-winning mattresses to help you catch your best Z's. Unprecedented times call for an unprecedented price, so we upgraded our popular Element mattress with its air-escape breathable foam, responsive comfort, and long-lasting support, all for just $9.95 for a queen. Discover the Casper difference now at Casper.com and use code NORI100 for $100 off select mattresses. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com/promo.
WJBO News Radio 1150 AM and 98.7 FM.
With stations all over the U.S., North America, Puerto Rico, Guam, and by satellite, we are Coast to Coast AM. Hey there, Connie Willis here. Let's see, I'm going to go back to the Powerball.com, see what it says here. And I know what it's going to say. I'm going to refresh it. Yep, it's still like that black page saying the next drawing is, November 5th, which I think we're all pretty much getting past that. And then it says the winning numbers. and it's just all black. And I'm telling you, somebody won it. At least one person won it. That's why it looks like that. Otherwise, you see all the ads. You know, people are going, did somebody win? Did somebody win? There's no doubt. All you have to do is go to the page, and if it doesn't say, oh, it's already bumped up, you know, because they immediately know it's digital. So as soon as they you know, it's drawn and everything, they know. So normally they go to a regular page, you know, of all the advertisements and trying, you know, selling that next, you know, $2 ticket, right? So, no, somebody's got it. At least one. It could be two people. So I'm going to look at the other page that I like to look at, and I just want to say thank you to all the people that are downloading my podcast, Connie Willis, the podcast. Thank you so much. We're going to build that up, make that like, you know, just for you. So I love when you all comment and tell me what you like. Thanks for being kind and generous as you are. I've got something really new and special and kind of cool I'm going to do either this month or the next. I think it's, you know, I'm going to try to get it in this month. Got so much going on. But I'm going to see if you like that too. And then you'll get all these collage of really cool things. But I think it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to what you all think. You'll know as soon as you see it. You'll go, oh, I like it. Or, this is stupid. Tell me one or the other. So you can comment and let me know when that's the case. We'll know when it happens. Right now I'm doing a series with a classic series with some really classic people. Some will pass, but definitely legends for sure. So that's ConnieWillis.com, where you can learn about my podcast, which is called Connie Willis, the podcast. Or you can go to my show where I take you on live investigations, Bigfoot, strange lights, hauntings, things like that. That's Blue Rock Talk. And there's more, so just go to ConnieWillis.com. So here's a guy that I'm just happening to go through LinkedIn and look through some things, our next guest here. And I can't remember, I don't know if, I think I don't know, I just thought, maybe he'll tell me what he remembers, but he may be like me right now, speechless going, I can't remember. But I think I saw him and I wrote, hey, have you ever been on Coast? And I think he said, I was going to be, but something happened or something like that. So anyway, we started talking like that because I was impressed with what I saw. And maybe he liked something or commented on something. And I went, who is this guy? This is pretty cool stuff. So he's an astrophysicist. And his latest projects are the search for exomoons. We'll talk about that. And he's also looking into or already has the quasars and the black holes. He loves Mars. A lot of people know him knowing all about Mars. He's talking about Mars. He's going to give his thoughts on UFOs tonight. He said a lot of his friends are like, are you going to talk about that? So he said it's something he has to do, so he can get that out there. And he's just done a ton. It's Antonio Paris, chief scientist at Planetary Sciences Incorporated, and assistant professor of astronomy and astrophysics at St. Petersburg College, Florida. Graduate of the NASA Mars Education Program at the Mars Flight Space Center, Arizona State University. How cool was that? How many of us all wanted to do something like that? Heck, I remember space camp. I wanted to go to space camp. I think I was too old when that came out later, or just, I don't know, maybe it was $1 billion to go. I don't know what it was. You just had to be right there, especially in my Senate or something like that. He's a professional member of the Washington Academy of Sciences, the American Astronomical Society, and the Explorers Club. And his latest peer-reviewed publication focused on broad-line spectrum quasars, active galactic nuclei. You'll have to tell me if I got all this right there, Antonio. Emissions that's powered by supermassive black holes. He's also got 3 books out. There's Your Personal 3D Journey to the Red Planet. There's Space Science, and also Aerial Phenomena. So I just was like, fell in love with his resume. And then taught him and said, hey, let's do this. And he's like, all right. He was also Army counterintelligence for a while in DOD. So that's impressive and interesting as well. So Antonio Paris, he looks and sounds like he's like 22. And I think he's only 25. So Antonio, thanks for being here on Coast to Coast. How are you tonight?
Hey, thanks for having me.
What turned you on to this?
Just, growing up in Puerto Rico, a long time ago, you had a better picture of a nice guy, clear, less like pollution, and I just really hooked up to looking into the constellations one day. And, in middle school as well, more introduction to astronomy and physics, and then I knew going into the Army, I still wanted to be a scientist. That's just one of too many chapters of my life, and here I am. Finally was able to do it and get my master's and PhD, and I've been doing it, for the last close to 18 years now. Just looking up at the stars and try to answer some of the serious questions.
And are you really getting the actual answers, or are they still just theories? Because it's so far away, these things. Is it still just a good theory, or do we know that we know what some of these things are?
I think the closer that anything is to Earth, we pretty much know. If we have rovers and spacecraft orbiting Mars, Venus, Mercury, etc., not physically we touched it, but our devices have touched it. We know a lot. But the furthest we get, the speculation becomes wider because we just haven't been able to get that far. Nonetheless, we have a lot of what we call nowadays investigations. We have spacecraft orbiting the sun. We've learned so much about our own sun, which is the main sequence star. Then we can see what other stars are doing at the same time. And so that's how we build modeling and theories and hypotheses. So we look something that's really close to us, that we get those answers, but then we can look further and further away and kind of come up with the same answers as well.
You know what, I remember doing in Orlando, where you're at now, I remember when I was there working, we did a celebrity, it was for Special Olympics, and we did this celebrity type raising of money for Special Olympics, and we had local celebrities. So I was considered one of those because being in radio at K92 FM in Orlando, WDBO most likely carried coast to coast. I know it did. But when we were doing these special shows along the way, you'd have the local celebrities. Okay, we'd all know each other. Hey, you're from the TV show. Oh, you're from the radio show. You're from this. You're from that. And I remember this one guy that was there, and we were like, oh, who are you? And he was, oh, I flew the space shuttle. People, astronauts, whatever, NASA, rocket scientists, all that kind of stuff. You got that in that area because of the Cape not far. But, do you still get this incredible, or do you at all? I know you do from me, but do you get when you tell people what you do? Are they all like, that's really cool? They treat you like a little superstar, don't they?
That really depends on the situation and where you're at. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, wow, what is that like? And other times, they'll be like, Bruce Tro is no responsibility.
Bruce Tro, wow. Those are the people you don't want to hang around anyway, right?
I do the same thing, I'll go to, someone says, oh, yeah, he's an astronaut. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. It really depends on who you're hanging out with in the situation, but I'm like that as well. Someone tells me they're an engineer, I'm like, oh, wow, cool, what do you build? And then someone listens to care if you're an engineer. So it really depends on who you're hanging out with and what you have to take care of. If they really right now you're working somewhere else, and someone's not really care for you, or everybody will.
But man, you got okay, like right now you're studying the exomoons, and you did do quasars and black holes. So tell us about that and what all that means. I don't even know what the exomoons are. So tell us about this. That's your latest.
Astronomy is a really huge field, right? Think of it maybe as a medical field. There's just, hundreds and hundreds of specialties in a field. There are definitely astronomers that try to study everything, right? Or else they'll just blow up their mind. So initially, after my dissertation, I actually focused on astronomy and atomic mathematics for a few years because immediate application for me initially was tried to focus on something that matters to me, like something that has immediate applications to Earth. So I wanted to study something that was closer so I'd be able to, planet on this asteroid. Something that was 5 years away. Really, what does this have to do with Earth? It really has no immediate application. So I started with a small picture first, but it was an asteroid, how this formed, with the leftovers of solar systems and comets. And then I wanted to study Mars. Mars was pretty big years ago. Everybody was like, oh my God, we're going to Mars. NASA, SpaceX, about a dozen other companies all wanted to go to Mars. And unfortunately, you have to follow the money, right? Because that's where all the grants are going. Study Mars. Study Mars. How do we get there? How do we survive? How do we see our action? So, for almost 10 years, all I did was study Mars. And I needed a break from that, so then grant money to study quasars. Quasars are just one type of star that's kind of already in its death grip, and they give off these loud electromagnetic energies coming out of their seem-to-be black holes. So I was thinking for a while, and went back to Mars as a case, earlier this year, studying galaxies. We wanted to look for that scenario that we would take, and in this case, it will be the galaxies of Mars. And now, the project across, and I was studying what's called that the old Kepler spacecraft that retired years ago, and just had tons of data that still needs to be analyzed, and that was search for the actual extrasolar moons that are out there. And I found this planet, and Kepler has 150,000 main groups of stars that we think have planets. So everybody knows planets outside time. And there's very little research. I was like, okay, so look at the moon, because I wanted to be one of those that, like something cool. And that's what I've done. So it took me 5 months. And then I had 5 months to look through 150,000 confirmed, proposed extrasolar planets. And then I had to look through the ones that I thought that might have had some type of activity that had companion there. For example, the moon. So I wrapped up that project this week, and now comes the writing again, editing. So I'll have that published. I'm thinking March. So get your clock to midnight.
So is that mainly how you make money? There's got to be a grant for it? You have to get the money for it?
No, I do a lot of dancing on the side after midnight, so...
I knew that. You are that guy.
So as concept, book sales help a lot. Grant money is usually the biggest thing that comes in for scientific stuff. And it's going pretty well right now. It's like any job, right, where the interest is. Right now it's mostly Mars. It's picked up a little bit because there's some speculation that we might send some crews to Mars, people to Venus. We do the application, it kind of helps a bit that, for anybody out there kind of does well. It helps a bit that I'm a disabled veteran, so we kind of get a little bump. We do the applications through NASA, stuff like that, and minority grants, so that helps as well. Nonetheless, these grants have been keeping me busy since 2010, so we're 13 years now. So it's fun. I like what I'm doing. Pretty great. Mars 3D was written mostly for the younger kids, middle school, high school. It's, there's you put on 3D glasses, right, and pretend that you're Mars, and it's a great way to learn about how Mars evolved.
I like that. And you guys, you can find him at Twitter at Antonio Paris. You can also go to Facebook, and it's under Antonio J. Paris. That's where you can find him. You don't actually have a website, do you?
Well, yeah, So the Organization of Planetary Sciences does have a website, and it's mainly just where we show all our recent peer review publications and some occasional stuff like that, trending, like NASA, SpaceX, Auphonix, stuff like that.
Okay. All right, so here's a question for you that you've probably heard a billion times, but I'm not sure I've ever heard the final answer yet. Pluto, planet or not? Tell me about Pluto. What is it? What do you think it is?
It's not what you think it is. It's what it is.
What is it? Well, what is it? We heard it was a planet when I grew up.
Well, this is what happened a long time ago, right? Early 1900s, and we found this little guy wandering around, and we rushed to judgment, and we closed this whole little planet. And as the telescope technology got better, we started finding another Pluto, and then another Pluto, and then dozens and dozens of these other little Plutos. So we said, wait a minute, this is actually a new type of planet, or obviously the most difficult. Unfortunately, first, that's close to the kite belt, and we came up with new terminology, right? These wanderers, and unfortunately, because Pluto was first discovered, it had promoted planet. It's, personally, Pluto, I grew up with Pluto as a planet. Pluto was always I don't care what, one of my a lot of close friends actually work with this project and who are responsible for promoting Pluto.
Anticipation happening. We got to take a break. We'll come back and get that answer. Pluto, what is it? More to come here on Coast to Coast AM with Antonio Ferris and Connie Lewis.
WJBO News Radio, 1150 AM and 98.7 FM.
Explore your universe with Coast to Coast AM.
Now, we've been talking about 100 years of paranormal study, but things are still in flux. When are we ever going to get the answers we really want?
I got to be honest with you, George. I think we really are close. Here in the United States, the vast majority of the population is not going to believe in UFOs until we have something on radar. Well, the fact is, not only do we have something on radar, but we have Navy cockpit videos, among other things.
Fox News, I'm Richard Jordan. Pennsylvania Senate candidate John Fetterman in the final push before the midterm election.
I had a stroke. It really knocked me on my back. But I got back up.
This weekend, President Biden and Barack Obama campaigned for Fetterman, while Donald Trump held a rally for Republican Mehmet Oz. The Houston Astros are World Series champs. It's the first title for Dusty Baker as manager. Tensions continue to escalate on the Korean Peninsula.
North Korea fired 4 more ballistic missiles into nearby waters. The U.S. in response has sent 2 supersonic bombers to the region.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Most Americans will set their clocks back 1 hour at 2 a.m. local time as Standard Time returns. America's listening to Fox News.
Using geometric patterns, earth tones in your decor, and natural wood is also a big feature of craftsman homes, not to mention copper and brass. Just remember, the thing that defines the arts and crafts movement is simplicity. Kind of like those popsicle houses your third grader is building. Now, I wonder how many popsicle sticks it would take to build a craftsman house. That's a lot of popsicles to eat. Ooh, brain freeze.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
The best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM. The new version of the Coast to Coast AM app is here, now available for Android as well as iPhone. For Coast Insiders, it offers the ability to download the most recent shows so you can listen to them at your leisure. The new app also has listen live and streaming features, plus recaps, contests, and upcoming show info. Coast Insiders with Android System 4.0 and above or iPhone. Check out our new app at the Google Play or iTunes stores, or linked from the Coast website.
Coast to Coast AM sure sounds great in the middle of the night, but you don't have to be nocturnal to enjoy this amazing show. The Coast Insider is your key to a normal life. For 15 cents a day, you can wake up refreshed, knowing that last night's show is waiting for you with podcasting. Listen on your way to work, and again on your way home, or listen to one of over 1,000 archived shows from the past 5 years. The Coast Insider Club is a must-have feature for all Coast to Coast AM listeners. Visit coasttocoastam.com to sign up today. You'll sleep like a baby, knowing you'll never miss your favorite guest or topic ever again. Remember, a one-year subscription comes out to only 15 cents a day. Sign up today at coasttocoastam.com.
Come on, you gotta love it. Classic. Coast to Coast AM, that's what you're listening to. I'm Connie Willis. Let's turn that up a little more. There you go. A little more gradually with them singing. You know how to do it? Yeah. Boom. That's the song I waited to do every night to hear before I'd fall asleep. Okay, that's about as best as I can do. Bob Stacy there. Bumper music, go to our website. You can always find it. You're looking for a date? Are you single? Then you go ahead to our paranormal date, or conspiracy date, or seniors paranormal date. Because if you're single and you like to talk about the things we do here on Coast to Coast AM, then you're going to love this site to meet other people just like you. Be single now, okay? That's what we're looking for. There's over 100,000 members there. This is something that George Norrie put together with a friend of his, and voila, it's a huge, huge hit.
on many different, continents. Check it out. Go to paranormaldate.com and look at all the different flags, where you can be a part of this, where you can join. It's free to sign up and check it out. And then if you say, hey, I'm going to go a little further into this, I'm liking this, use code word George and you'll get a really great discount. Again, over 100,000 members. Now, we want to know what happens if anything happens. If something really cool happens, we want to know about it. Who knows what George Norrie might present to you? Maybe he'll pay the wedding bill, right? Who knows, right? Let's just see what happens, but let us know for sure. You are not alone. Talk to people of like mind. Go to Paranormal Date to learn more, or just go to our website at coasttocoastam.com.
Imagine you're in a room with 4 other people. Statistically, one of you is a victim of identity theft. That's right, 1 in 5. And these aren't careless people either. They're probably a lot like you, watching their accounts and credit. But that isn't always enough, especially with your personal info in more places than ever. It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself by monitoring your identity and alerting you to threats you could miss on your own. If you become a victim of identity theft, a U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will be dedicated to your case and work to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to lifelock.com and use promo code George. That's promo code George to save up to 25% off your first year, or 1-800-LIFE.
Real people, real stories.
I have bruising that's all over my arms. 3 weeks after I was on the carnivore, I noticed, I'm looking at my arms, and I said, gee, I don't have any bruises on my arms, and I'm always full of bruises. I can't put my finger on it, but I know something's happening. I have to tell you, that has to be a carnivore.
I've got a Labrador. She can hardly lift herself up off the floor. I won't tell you what the veterinarian said, but the treatment was chemotherapy. And I said, no way. That's when I said, you know what, this could be the ticket. So I started with ministering her. She took to it right away. 3 weeks, you could tell. She was very alert. Into the protocol, she seemed like she was 100%. She was going on 5-mile walks. My goodness, she is just like prime again.
Call 866-836-8735. That's 866-836-8735. Or visit carnivore.com. That's carnivore.com.
WJBO News Radio, 1150 AM and 98.7 FM.
It's Coast to Coast AM. You are listening to Connie Willis. Daylight savings time. Somebody won the lotto. I'm pretty sure someone won the Powerball. I'm pretty sure that's what that's looking like. I am predicting that at least one person won. We'll see how that goes. It's just, you go to the page and you go, oh, this looks different. So check your tickets and let me know if it's you. And you can find more about me if you like. I'd love for you to go to ConnieWillis.com. If you do, you'll see my different shows, Blue Rock Talk, Connie After Dark, and also my brand new Connie Willis Show podcast. And it's been great because you guys have been right there with me. I like interaction. I like it to be live. The podcasts aren't like that, right? The interaction does occur when you guys comment, and I try to work that in because I want you guys to reply. Let me know what you're like, and first of all, you got to find it, right? The Connie Willis, the podcast, all right? So you got to find it. So you can go to ConnieWillis.com and push a button. It'll, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Spreaker, wherever. But when you get there, you go to your settings and you go to automatic download, right? And then it just always comes to you, so you don't have to worry about it. Because I'm going to do a collage of things, because this is me, and I do a collage of things in my life. So I'm testing some things out, and I ask you guys that, I'm like, hey, what do you think? And you guys literally do reply, and I appreciate that. And you're nice about it. So thank you. That's what, works, right? So I got something special coming up for you. Oh, my goodness, month, and I'm looking forward to how you guys react. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to always do some surprises. See what really totally works. It's my own, I guess, what's the name? Anyway, it's my own analysis on all of this. I'm checking it out, seeing what you guys like. So Connie Willis, the podcast. Just go to my website, ConnieWillis.com. You'll learn a whole lot about me. So Antonio Paris is who we're talking to, astrophysicist. He's amazing. I love his credentials. And then he can just throw it right back at me when I say, come on, what is Pluto? What is it? What is it? So he was telling us the story of what Pluto is, and then we had to cut him off because we had to go and pay some bills. So we're back with Antonio Paris. All right, Antonio, Pluto. What is Pluto?
Pluto is not. Sorry. That's my scientific name. Personally, yes, Pluto is a little planet. But sadly, there's a lot of quantum Plutos out there that we call dwarf planets, and they fall into that category. But hey, science changes all the time.
Right.
There could be some guy or gal out there right now typing away all night and coming up with anything and saying, Pluto is a planet, and lo and behold, Pluto's a planet again.
But the key word is, but the key word is what you said, the theory, right? The theory.
Well, it's more like a hypothesis.
Yeah.
Back and forth. I mean, it's a type plant, right? That's why it's called a dwarf plant. This is now part of the pencil, what we grew up with, the 9 planets, pencil. But, hey, they could be voted against these planetary status. You never know. Some may come around and not be back in a regular orbit, around the sun, and it's a planet again. And then there we go. Everybody's happy.
We can make a new pole on Earth.
Scientific world. There's astronomers out there that'll do anything to change stuff. And that's what they do with it.
How do you like being in that world of the scientific world? Especially, you know what I've learned from you is you're very open to a lot of things. And you're open, it sounds like you're open to changes. And the science world is like, no, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 3 is 4.
Oh, man, the science world is kind of really interesting because a lot of it is grant funding. There's government science, like NASA, and you do what you got to do. And then there's private science that come from institutions, universities, and grants, and stuff like that. And there are still hospitals out there in the science world. I'm telling you, people will do whatever they can to make sure they get their feet. And unfortunately, particularly put out there by an organization or university or public foundation, so that they stay true and answer a question that's particularly put out there by an organization or university or a foundation. So they want money, it's the right answer, right? Analytical. There are really great scientists out there that don't do it for the money. I'm not going to put any names out there, but there are a lot of scientists out there that are millionaires, and they do it more for publicity, and TV, and stuff like that. And then there's people like me that are poor and ramen noodles throughout the night. But I do it because it's something that I like. I love astronomy. I like the physics behind it.
Working on it in the future. And you like ramen noodles. What's the magnetic pole?
I like ramen noodles.
That helps. That definitely helps. Okay, so one of the things you said you were going to be working on in the future, I think, was the magnetic pole. Was that right?
Yeah, that is true. The magnetic pole is doing something weird. That's an actual scientific term, by the way. Moving more in a westerly direction in the last close to 100 years. But what's weird about it is for the last 30 or 40 years that it's accelerated. And there's a lot of things out there from the ones that just potentially be okay, and then from the whack jobs that are out there saying that the world's going to end. So that's what I'm looking at. And what I'm trying to do is to see if there's a correlation between some of the climate anomalies that we're seeing, right? Climate change, getting hotter, longer, and I'm trying to determine the magnetic field as they do that. If you look back on I force that dates back thousands of years, there's a lot of different science out there that the magnetic field does have some type of influence on whether somebody high altitude of the planet. So with the thinning, with the carbon putting it into the atmosphere, is there any type of correlation? It can go either way. I can debunk myself and say, okay, there's nothing going on here. But that's science, right? You have to publish that. You have to publish the facts, or whether you're wrong. And the positive decide comes up with an answer. So that seems to be next year. About a year and a half ago, I went to the Arctic Circle to do some preliminary studies.
Wow.
So I'll be going back to the Arctic Circle hopefully next year. He's thinking about March, maybe. So we'll see. This will probably be the first time that my girlfriend will be going with me on the science trip. That'll be interesting.
I like that. So what was it like to be at the Arctic Circle? What's that like?
We're talking minus 65 degrees, right? And I initially rented an SUV with the heated sleeping bag, and that worked quite well. So I was in the time that I totally forgot about the amount of darkness that's out there. So, excuse me, light. So I went up there in January, and I had on my, I ended up not doing the photography with the, I have a little hobby that I do. Nice. I realized, wait a minute, I only got like an hour. It worked out quite well. And I got up to see some, I ended up not doing any photography whatsoever. And ended up doing mostly, photography at night, which actually worked out quite well. And I got to see some of the aurora borealis. Nobody out there like and that's it. You're like the only human being on the planet. Cell phone driving 5 hours, and you have to make sure you have gas. So I get there, I come back, and it's the emergency. I stocked up on gas, and I realized, wow, you can drive 5 hours. You have to make sure you have enough gas to get there, come back, emergency. So I stocked up on gas, and I realized, wow, something happened. And I did have my little satellite phone for emergencies. I mean, before emergency, how satellite phones are, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. But I did communicate with my family once a day. I mean, text messages that I'm okay. But it's cold. Now, let's say 20 degrees, minus 65. Take off those gloves, and you can feel that cold of your body. Okay, put those clothes back on.
So what planet would that have been like? Okay, there you are all by yourself. What would it be like? That would be Mars?
You watch all these shows and Mars is beautiful and everybody's dancing on the planet. The best analogy I can give about Mars is imagine being on the top of Mount Everest and the nuclear bomb went off, right? Lots of radiation and atmosphere, cold as heck. And that is Mars. There is a fact that it works. You can give me the worst case scenario and you're never going to go through, right? But if someone wanted to know what is Mars like, then you have Mount Everest with radiation all around you and it's cold. And if you take off your pressure thing, your eyes are going to pop out with pressure things. But it's really, I love Mars, planet Earth, it's way better.
Did you ever study the moon? Do you like the moon? I just love the moon.
I love the moon, but the moon is kind of boring. It's great looking at South Pole and check out all the cool craters and do some photography. But it's kind of like watching the show over and over and over again. Speaking of the moon, though, we've got there's some cool events, right? We have the lunar eclipse coming up on Tuesday, the blood moon. So you guys in California should be able to see it. Here in Florida, it should show us the most spectacular astronomical event of the century, and it's clouds. That's just the way Florida is. But we're lucky to show you some crazy weather.
That's the way Central Florida is where you live. If you get over on the beach side, the Gulf, or the other side where it blows those clouds in, you're okay.
have some astronomy friends that live on the coast, in the Everglades, and I'm like, dude, really? It's like you get 2 days out of the year.
Yeah, well, I remember living in Orlando, and it was like the clouds rolled in on one side of the state, and the clouds rolled in at the other, and every day at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, there'd be this incredible thunderstorm, and that's where, all the amusement parks are, right? So all the amusement parks would clear out, and all the locals would show up afterwards, because we knew it would only last about an hour or so.
Yeah, it's predictable. Like, we're at the time now where it's like right now it's really clear. It'll be clear till about 10, 11 a.m. Clouds coming in, and after midnight it's clear again. And it's nice that you can maybe have nice parts coming in, so that's perfect for astronomy. So that's something, astronomy and astrophotography are really two different worlds. You can make it separate careers. But I do want to go back to astrophotography, which is something I did years ago. With photo stories going on throughout the world, the prices just quadrupled for just basic astronomy gear.
Hasn't it gotten better, though, recently, though?
You think it is? I've noticed the prices are back now. Things that I wanted that would take months ago, most years, and now saying, oh, it's just a couple of weeks now. And good old eBay is pretty useful for me to find gear. People retire, people get bored of astronomy, and they start selling their gear as well. So,
it's gone off for us.
Anything, so you're not buying knockoff, but you just gotta be careful.
Right. So I got to ask you a couple things. What do you think of the other side of the moon? What's going on there? You got any thoughts? And that's it?
50 years ago, it was the dark side of the moon. There was not much information that we knew. The dark side meant that very little. Not that it was particularly nighttime, right? We still get a lot of light there. But now, in the 70s, 80s, and even now, with a lot of spacecraft, the lunar reconnaissance over there, we know about the other side of the moon now. What's interesting is when you look at images of the dark side of the moon, the impact crater photography is different. We look at our side of the moon, the near side, and there's a lot of impact craters, And when you look at the other side of the moon, there's not that many. I mean, there's a lot of dark side. Put it aside. So there's a lot of research going on as to why there's a lot of impact craters on our side as opposed to the dark side. So we're going to see what happens there. But China's sent a couple of spacecraft up there as well. It's changed now. Thanks to technology. But the hypothesis that we had 30, 40, 50 years ago has been changed now. Thanks to technology, better telescopes, better opening spacecraft. And with Artemis coming up, we're going to learn more and trying to send women and men back to the lunar surface, which is pretty cool.
So is it solid? Is it hollow? Is there little men running it and watching everything we do? What's your thought? Come on.
For a planet to obviously have a core, right? And that's how planets form. But if we're going to get into the TV show RuPaul,
See, that's what I love about him, you guys. He's got that sense of humor, and he can go there. But, I mean, that moon, it's like looking at it, just like that big eye in the sky. Is it just, just hanging out? It just somehow got into our orbit, and it used to be a rock, and now it's a formation.
What the theory is that the moon was formed was something massive. In our case, most likely an impact or an asteroid hit the Earth early during the formation of our planet. It fell off, started orbiting our planet, and then, you would use the accretion theory, that's how planets and objects formed. It became round, and that's how the moon formed. But how do we know that? Because we look at other moons in the solar system, Mars next to the moon, for example, Jupiter.
And we'll find more out when we return. Stay with us. You're listening to Coast AM.
With the midterm elections now 2 days away, President Biden campaigning for Pennsylvania Democratic U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman and gubernatorial candidate Josh Shapiro in Philadelphia Saturday. Here's the president touting his gun reform bill he signed into law this year.
I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years. I proposed over 100,000 new police officers. Here's the deal. Public safety is why John got into public service in the first place. Oz won't do a thing about guns.
Republicans, including Fetterman's opponent, Dr. Mehmet Oz, say that soft on crime policies are responsible for the rising crime in major U.S. cities. Nobody has come forward yet to claim Saturday night's $1.6 billion Powerball jackpot, the highest in history. Mike Phillips of Orlando says what he would do if he was the winner.
I would make sure that my families were taken care of, wouldn't have no bills. I would probably still work a little bit, but just retire, just chill and enjoy life.
Saturday's winning numbers 20, 45, 53, 56, 69, and Powerball number 20. The Houston Astros winning their second World Series in 6 seasons Saturday night.
Houston beat the Philadelphia Phillies 4-1. The Astros take the crown in 6 games. All the scoring came in the 6th inning. Yordan Alvarez belted a 3-run shot.
Alvarado, that put Houston in front for good. Moments later, Christian Vasquez added an insurance run with an RBI single. 73-year-old Dusty Baker became the oldest manager ever to win a World Series title.
That's Fox's Bob Mortali. The daylight savings ends at 2 a.m. local time. Remember to set your clocks back 1 hour. America is listening to Fox News.
Fox News, sponsored by Home Bank, growing and serving. Go and find out why coming home. Home Bank, member FDIC.
On Season 4 of the Pike Massacre podcast, the investigation into one of Ohio's worst crimes continues. Join the KC Studios team as they examine the forensics and the ties that bind the victims and the accused. What will the trials mean for Pike County?
Let's talk about the crime scene.
Accused murderer George Wagner is the judge and jury.
This is legitimately the biggest murder trial in the state of Ohio's history.
Listen to the Pike Massacre on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Any first responder will tell you never try to beat a train. After braking, it can take a mile for a train to completely stop. A mile. That's also how far a car can be dragged when a train hits it. So when you come to a rail crossing, stop, because trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
This is Dr. Ann Shaw at Southern Eye Center. Does 40 have you squinting to read just about everything? Book your eye exam today at southerneyecenters.com.
The podcast, The Bible in a Year with Jack Graham, is a moving and inspiring biblical audio experience that will help you master wisdom from the world's greatest book. In each episode, you'll learn to apply biblical principles to everyday life.
Each cinematic episode is a journey through the Bible's most profound stories that will strengthen your appreciation of the Word and inspire you to keep learning.
Listen to The Bible in a Year with Jack Graham on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mr. Rogers says, look to the helpers. You can always find people who are helpers. Thank you to all first responders.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut this one down and wrap up for the evening. And after the entire beginning of that test, we really didn't hear anything out of KSEN. They came through there at the end, super loud, several sequences of sweeps and tones, and then right there at the top of the hour at 0200, we had a beautiful Morse code ID to finish us off and make sure we definitely got this one in the log. So I'll be clipping that one for sure and putting up a nice air check here on the YouTube channel. Speaking of, make sure you subscribe. We appreciate your support here. If you're not already a subscriber, please do. We'd appreciate it if you gave us a like and a thumbs up, or a thumbs up here, and a thumbs up. I'm tired, guys. This is the third stream this weekend. A thumbs up on the video, and leave us a comment as well. Let us know what you thought about the streams this weekend and how we're doing here on the channel. And then also don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/DXCentral, and check our website out, dxcentralonline.com. So from all of us here at DX Central, we're going to hear from our sponsors here in a moment, and then we'll wrap it up for the evening. So thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you heard KSEN where you are from your location as well. Take care, my friends. 73 Best of DX. We'll see you next time.
DX Central, because we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central. DX Central Live is brought to you in part by...
From the pages of its DX Monitor member bulletin, members of the International Radio Club of America share their domestic and international AM/DX loggings. In its Mexican log, a wealth of information can be found of stations from south of the border. Technical guides, sunrise, sunset maps, and more make the IRCA a must-join for any AM/DXer. For more information, log on to ircaonline.org. That's ircaonline.org. While the HF bands can be filled with entertaining and intriguing transmissions, how do you know when and where to look? Let Teague Publishing's Global Radio Guide lead the way. In addition to its exhaustive list of time and frequency for international broadcasters, radio hobby icon Gail Van Horn brings you equipment reviews, an SDR buyer's guide, feature articles, and more. Pick up your copy today. Visit teaguepublishing.com for more information. That's teaguepublishing.com. Since 1933, the National Radio Club has been serving AM/DXers while providing some of the most in-depth information in the hobby. From the annual NRC AM log, a must-have reference for domestic station information, to antenna design reference manuals, and of course, the DX News member bulletin, which is filled with station information updates, domestic and international loggings, and a whole lot more. Become a member today. For more information, log on to nationalradioclub.org. That's nationalradioclub.org.
Through crashes of static in quiet hours, we listen. In languages we can scarcely understand, and of places we have only visited in our dreams, we listen. Incessantly, we perfect our array of aerials, receivers, and resources. We refine our skills and our techniques so that we might listen. We are DX Central, and we're all about radio. Visit us at dxcentralonline.com or check us out on YouTube. Search DX Central.
Keep up with DX Central. Follow us on Twitter at DX Central.
This is DX Central Live.